don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street. There's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just trying to get some things shared up here. Give me just a few seconds. We're trying to still get this shared everywhere where it needs to be. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get this to Madison County. We've got some big breaking news. Tonight's episode, ladies and gentlemen, is going to cover Henry County Sheriff John Sproles and his filing. We had my filing a couple weeks ago, back in episode 237 that we went through. And unfortunately, kind of unfairly, they didn't have to turn their filing in at the same time, which I think that they should have. But they got an extra 2 weeks because his attorney had other commitments, yada, yada, yada. So they got to read through our filing, and they got like a whole 2 weeks with our filing before they actually had to turn their filing in. So that's kind of a little, basically it was about a full month. I think our filing was turned in on June 19th, and I think their filing was filed on July 20th. So that's kind of, it is what it is. But nevertheless, I still think that their filing is weak, and I think that our filing is right on cue with fighting for our rights. Now, before we get started, though, however, I do have some breaking news out of Madison County, and I feel like it's important, ladies and gentlemen, that we get this out. Matter of fact, I'm going to cut this out and make it its own short little 2 or 3 minute little video because I want as many people to be able to see this as possible. Pertaining to next Monday, which if you're watching this live, we are obviously watching this live. We're broadcasting this live on Thursday, August 1st. Man, I cannot believe that. Thursday, August 1st, 2024. That's when we are broadcasting this live. This is episode 254. The title is And to That Sproles Says. We'll get to that in a little bit. What's important for folks to know is next Monday, so just a couple days from now, through the weekend, and then Monday, August 5th, there is an election board meeting in Madison County, and it is big. It is important, and it is a major, major turning point in Madison County politics. Now, we've had a big deal going on for the last several weeks, basically since the May primary election. There was a situation where a citizen attempted to get into the building on election night, as we are all permitted to do by law, and watch the canvassing, watch the turning in of the votes and the counting of the process. I've done it countless times. I myself have done it countless times in Madison County. Blows my mind. This gentleman went to the door. He had his 4 or 5-year-old son with him. He goes to the door. He is stopped by a man with a gun, an armed guard, a sheriff's deputy, who stops him from walking into the People's Building. All right. The guard, the sheriff's deputy, goes and gets someone, quote unquote, official, but it's not someone official. It's not the clerk. It's not a commissioner. It's not a councilman. It's not even an elected official. It's some twiddly-dick nobody that thinks that he has power because he has been put in a position by friends and kept there by friends. He went and he got Russ Willis, and Russ Willis barred this man and his little small son. They must have been terrorists. That's the only thing I can think. They barred them from the building, violating their rights, their constitutional rights, their right by law to be part of the process and watch what's going on. So, there's been this back and forth. What should happen? Is something going to happen? Is nothing going to happen? Are they going to do the right thing? Are they not going to do the right thing? Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud tonight to tell you that while many people have been working on this, working in front of the scenes, behind the scenes, working on the down low, working out loud, going and doing everything that they can do, one specific person has really been pushing this the last few days, and that person has been Larry Savage. And I want to play for you a recording that he posted just a few moments ago. This is major, major news. Okay, so we're going to listen to this recording. And it's just roughly 3 minutes, right under 3 minutes. So I want you guys to listen to this, and then we're going to discuss it just for a second before we get into tonight's show. This is big news. Okay, this is a big win for Rob. This is a big win for Catherine. This is a big win for Larry. This is a big win for freedom. This is a big win for liberty. This is a big win for Madison County. It's a big win for the good guys. Okay, and it is in my opinion, a fatal blow to corruption in Madison County. All right. Now, this is not the end of the war. This is not the final punch. This is not the final bomb. This is not the final blow by any stretch of the imagination. This is just a battle, but it is a major, major victory in this battle, and it will lead to a major victory in this war that is fighting for Madison County. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here is the breaking news out of Madison County.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Larry Savage here. I got a huge smile on my face. Like I said, Larry Savage here. I have a huge smile on my face for one reason. I just talked to the Secretary of State of Indiana, Mr. Diego Morales, has went to Linda Smith and the county clerk in Madison County, and he has pressured Russ Willis to recuse himself from Monday's meeting for the vote on the civil rights violation of Rob Joswiak. I have filed police reports, tried to file charges. Russ Willis has finally got the message that we're not playing around. This is epic. It's never happened before in this county. Russ Willis's power is fading. Now we got 3 people on the board that should find Russ kicked Rob Joswiak out of the meeting and out of the count and violated his civil rights. All they have to vote on now is whether or not the man made Rob Joswiak leave the building. And let's just thank God. I prayed about this. I prayed about this, and I prayed about this. Mr. Russ Willis, you have finally met your match. You have pissed the wrong person off, and that's me. I went to my congressman. I've talked to her today. I went to the Secretary of State. I talked to him today. I went to the county clerk. I went to the police department, and I have got you. Finally, we're going to have a fair meeting on Monday at 10 o'clock at the Madison County building, and there's a little auditorium there. Come and watch the fireworks. This is epic. I'm kind of proud of myself because I've never put pressure on these folks in my life. And we finally got some. I finally have done it, and I feel great about it. And I hope you do too, because God is good. Our country, we just got to fight. And damn it, I'm fighting. And I won my first battle today, and I'm freaking hilariously happy, and you should be too. God bless you guys. I just love what happened just about 5 minutes ago with Diego Morales calling me and telling me that Russ Willis has recused himself from the meeting on Monday. Just got to stand up and fight. Hallelujah, you guys. This is a great, great day. Have a good one, man. See you guys.
All right. That's amazing news. And let me tell you, you want me to tell you something? That guy, he's a no good piece of crap. He's not a good guy. He's a bad guy. We're not supposed to like him. He's not like all the beautiful people. He's like me. You know, I'm a nobody. I'm a nobody down in my mama's basement making this little podcast. I'm a piece of shit. Larry's a piece of shit. Nobody likes us. Nobody cares. You know what? This maybe I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. You know what? I'm a proud piece of shit, and I'll stand with Larry, another proud piece of shit. And you know what it is? We get this stuff done. You know what? Let me tell something to Russ Willis and the other people out there, Russ Willis minded. Look, I don't care how egotistical you say this is. It's just the truth. If you were to pick us up and put us on the side of history, we resemble and look and act more like the people who founded this country, the founding fathers, than Russ Willis does. Russ Willis looks more like the fascists that are attempting to destroy this. And this is not a Republican or a Democrat thing. This is a people versus power. This is a people taking back the power. The most powerful seat, the most powerful position in local government, the most powerful position in state government, and the most powerful position in federal government is the same position. You know, local, state, and federal, they can't trample all over each other. They all got to stay in their lanes. The same powerful position is the same in all three levels of government, and it is the power of the person. It is the public citizen. It is us, we the people. It is the people, the person, the people, we the people. So I am very, very, very happy for Larry. And Larry, I didn't tell you what I was going to say ahead of time. I hope you get. I don't think that you're a nobody. I hope you get what I'm getting at there. And I'll tell you, I would proudly be called a nobody right beside you. So I hope you get where I was going with that. I am very proud of Larry. I am very excited and honored to know Larry. I'm very happy with this. And let me tell you this, the thing that's important to know, about this is I've heard people say, well, that's a dumb thing to pray about. He's praying about this, praying about politics. No, folks, this is a very important thing to pray about. This is a very important thing to go to God with. Look, we are in a fight, folks. We are in a fight. Whether you want to say that it's, I'm being hyperbolic or not, it isn't. It's very true. This is a fight between good and evil. And so, we need to understand that. So I am proud of Larry. I am proud of Catherine. I am proud of Cindy. And I am proud of everyone over there in Madison County that's doing the right thing. I am only hoping that we can start to glue ourselves together a little bit stronger in Delaware County. We've got the same force. We've got the same thing going on here. It's just the people haven't kind of came together the same way, but in time it'll happen. It will happen. I don't know where Catherine is. I text her just a little bit ago and told her that I'd be talking about this and to share this out and to yada yada yada. But she might be doing something. So, all right, that's the big breaking news. I just wanted to get that out there. I wanted everybody to know about that. That's very important, and I love it. I think it's fantastic and very, very good. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Cindy. And there, hey, look, it's going. It's happening over here. It's just getting people to understand that it's getting people to understand that they're like, oh, wait a minute, we are on the same side. That's kind of what it is. Now, as far as the replacement, so I'll tell you, people might be like, well, wait a minute, that's no good. So the election board, how the election board is made up, the election board in every county has an election board. The election board is made up by one Democrat, one Republican, and the clerk. And the clerk is basically the deciding vote. So, number one, right there, if your clerk is a Democrat, you'll have 2 Democrat votes. If your clerk is a Republican, you'll have 2 Republican votes. It's generally the chair of the party who picks the appointment for the seat, for the election board. So generally, Russ Willis would pick the person to fit in that seat. Now, he's chose to sit in that seat. And there have been times that that's happened in Delaware County, not frequently, but there have been times that that's happened. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. The only time it's bad is when they are then voting on themselves. And what's interesting is he so often uses the challenges to challenge people and to kick people off and to argue against other people challenging his people. And so it's not very fair when he's the one that's making the challenge and he then votes. That's always been very questionable. In the past, when that has happened in Delaware County, the chairman that's made the challenge has stepped off and had someone else fill in that role. Russ just doesn't do that. Russ just doesn't care. So will he pick the appointment? Will that appointment just do what he wants? That's yet to be seen. But the fact that he had to step down or was pushed off or whatever occurred there, that is a win. So I'm happy with that. Larry did a great job. Everybody that's been fighting this has done a good job. And I'm very, very excited about this. Yeah. GW, all these meetings are 9, 10 o'clock on purpose. It's to keep the majority of citizens out. Absolutely. That's very true. And it's horrible. Okay. So on with the rest of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the Political Spotlight. Thank you for being here. If you have not, I would appreciate you quickly hitting that like, giving us the thumbs up. Click that like before we get started. Just get it out of the way. If you're here on YouTube, hit the subscribe, click the bell so you set up your notifications. If you're watching this live, please comment over here at the live chat box. We love to hear what you got to say. You can comment down below if you're watching this via replay. We are very interested in what you got to say, no matter when you have to say it. Please, above all else, share the show with everyone you know. As always, I want to thank producer Kate. She's down in at the controls, down in the duck, working everything, putting everybody's comments up, and doing the great work that she does. So I appreciate that, the research and everything. So thank you. Okay. So tonight's show, we're going to be talking about Sproles filing against our filing, the rebuttal, his filing his motion in opposition to ours. Before we get there, I've got one more thing I want to say. Last night, towards the end of the night, I talked about the fact that I had emailed the Muncie City Council. I had talked about the fact that we have not heard about the budget. I put forward the mayor's words. I sent an email asking what the heck's going on. Roselvi responded last night. I received a response from the council attorney who says that, to his knowledge, they have not received anything about the budget. The finance chair president, which is District 2 City Councilor Nora Powell, she responded to me today at 12:30 p.m. And her response goes like this. Mr. Bilbrey, I've requested the 2025 Muncie Civil City budget be provided to the council no later than Monday, August 5th. Upon receipt of the budget, I'll schedule finance committee meetings with all department heads. That schedule will be advertised in the paper, posted at City Hall, and shared on social media. I have no additional information. Nora Powell. So that's that. Glad to hear what she is saying there. I don't know what she means about not having any additional information. She doesn't know if they're going to have the entire council be present or not. I feel like that would be an absolute disaster in not having them all present. They all need to be present. So I'm going to be pushing for that. I'm happy that she responded, and I'm happy to hear that she's actually pushing back on Ridenhour. She's not just saying, okay, he'll give it to us when he gives it to us. She's actually requesting that the budget be provided to the council no later than Monday, August 5th. It'll be interesting to see if Mayor Ridenhour complies with that, or if he doesn't comply with it, or what happens. But I tell you, they are certainly setting up to be a very adversarial couple of people, both Ridenhour and Nora Powell. And I got to tell you, I'm certainly here for it. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to come out victorious, but I definitely think it's interesting to see what's going on there. Okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's probably a good time. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this. Let me pull up this filing. So for everybody that's here, for everyone that's been here, again, I want to reiterate that you may or may not remember back on, I don't know when it was, back in episode 237, we went through my filing. And so if you have not watched that, I would highly recommend going back and watching it. You don't have to watch it first. You can watch this and then that, or you can watch that and this. It doesn't matter. But I would recommend that you watch this episode and episode 237, but watch both of them. So my attorney wrote a knockout pleading, a document, a memorandum. And I know that I'm partial, but removing myself from the situation, being someone that has read legal pleadings and filings and been in and around the court system for a very long time, I'm just not impressed with Sproles' attorney's document. I don't think it's a very, it's just not a very good written piece. So, that aside, we are standing again for the right and for the truth and for justice, the American way, the whole Superman bit. So it is what it is. The First Amendment, man, it doesn't get any more freedom fighter than that. So it is what it is. Before we bring that up, I do just real quick, I want to verify, Charlize. Yes, we do have a council meeting on Monday, so that will be interesting to see what happens. Okay, so hello there, Brenda. We're going to be talking about your sheriff here. So yeah, right. you might want to watch along. All right, I want to see. I don't know how we shared last time. If we shared this way, if this is the good thing to do. If that's the case.
I think last time you had it open so you could zoom in on it and scrolled it.
That is right. That is right. Okay, we'll take that down
made it
like
easier
that.
for everyone to be able to try to read it.
Okay. It says that I don't have permission to. Oh, here we go. All right. Let me see if I can pull it up this way.
In case you're not watching the comments, Stumblefoot did get his records request back on the amount of money spent for the people who monitor the doors at City Hall. And it is $12,384 a month.
Okay, say that to me again.
It is $12,384 a month.
Okay.
For the guards at the door of City Hall.
That's interesting.
I'll take that. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's between several people, dear.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We don't need so people. We just need me.
You just need him? Okay.
Yeah.
Hear that, Dan? Niles is applying for the position. He'll do it all himself.
All he needs to do is a 20-year career MPD and then retire, and the job is his.
Oh, fantastic.
So it'll be his in no time.
Unfortunately, he's past the age where he can get hired.
Oh yeah, well that's definitely
Does his 20 years of military service count?
No, I think unfortunately not. It should.
It should.
In my opinion.
It does down south.
Right.
Anyway, so thought you'd want to know that figure because I didn't think you were paying attention. So
okay, yeah, I'm trying to get this. How did you send me this? Does this not send in
give me a second, let me see if I can futz with it, okay?
Yeah,
I'll try resending it to you. You entertain everyone for a bit.
I can do that. Oh, here we go. I got it.
Isn't it magic how that works? Kate says, I'll fix it, and then you suddenly figure it out.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me see. Can people see that? Okay, yes. All right. Okay. So you guys can see this now. We're on the screen. What we're going to have to do, Kate. So number one, I will be off screen because I'll have to be going through this from the other screen. So if anything happens, you'll just have to come in and let me know. Also, here in a minute, when you go back down and I start reading, can you text Catherine and find out? She just tried to call me for some unknown reason.
I think she was just...
definitely know that I would be live.
Yeah, I know. I'll find out what's going on.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And I'm off screen now. So here we go. All right. So, again, here's the filing, ladies and gentlemen. First main issue. Again, Sproles and the attorney were privy to my attorney's filing and our filing. So they were able to respond count by count, even though their counter arguments are weak. The other thing is, and what's interesting to me is the fact that I think in their filing, I'm not the attorney, and so I might kind of be not speaking totally legally here completely. I'm going to talk to my attorney, and I will correct this if I am wrong. But I am pretty certain that some of their arguments go counter to what Sproles claimed while under oath in the deposition. So I've got to find out from Gavin if that's completely accurate. But in reading this document, I'm pretty certain that some of their claims do not match up with what Sproles claimed in deposition, which is a problem. Okay. So this is amended memorandum. So they made a memorandum and then they amended it. I didn't see the first. I just got this second. This is the one that matters. If in a situation like this is what matters. The second one does not matter. Amended memorandum of law in support of defendant's cross motion for summary judgment and response in opposition to plaintiff's motion for partial summary judgment. Okay. Okay, right here. It says, after defendant's counsel filed his original memorandum of law, a review of the uploaded file showed that it was inadvertently missing several elements and sections that were in the final version prepared by counsel. This amended memorandum of law should replace such erroneously filed prior version. After the original memorandum of law was filed, access to the CMECF system was electronic filing became unavailable due to scheduled maintenance starting at 9 p.m. on Friday, July 19th until Saturday, July 20th at noon. Defendant's counsel filed this amended memorandum of law as soon as the access was restored. So I was also correct. They filed this between the 19th and the 20th. Okay. So again, like mine, they've got this table of contents, which I've never seen in other filings. So this is pretty important, like pretty big time stuff to me. I've never seen any other attorneys ever do that before. It's kind of crazy. So
I'm going to interrupt you very quickly.
Yep, you're fine.
Got a hold of Catherine. The reason Catherine was trying to call in is because she wanted to say thank you to you and to everyone else in Madison County who's been pushing this through to make it happen, to get rid of Russ. And she just wanted to be able to say that on live. So that's why Catherine was calling. And I think it's important that everybody knows that, you know, she's here, she's with us, she's still fighting the good fight and really appreciates everybody. So
absolutely. Yeah. Well, very good. I appreciate that. And awesome. I don't have the piece that allows me to connect the phone, so we wouldn't have actually been able to connect her very well, and they wouldn't have been able to hear her. But I am glad that you relayed that message, and yay. Okay. So Sproles goes, and I'm not going to read through this. This is going to be a pretty quick dissection of this, just because pretty much this is history. We know this. Sproles decided to run for election. He created a Facebook page. At the time, it was a campaign page. He was not an elected official. Again, I want to make it very clear, and I state this to everybody. In the state of Indiana, someone running for office, when they create a candidate campaign page, if they are not an elected official, they can run that page however they see fit. They can block people. They can delete comments. I always say they shouldn't, but they can. It's up to them. Okay. From the moment Sproles was elected, Kristopher Bilbrey has been critically commenting about Sproles in numerous posts on various Facebook pages, YouTube, that he's operated. July 2023, Sproles posted several messages on Facebook, including a few repost messages from the Henry County Sheriff's Office regarding a directive of the sheriff to no longer respond to non-emergency calls in towns that utilize town marshal system. Bilbrey posted a comment about one of the videos. We all know this stuff, okay? So yada, yada, yada. We're going to go on down through here. All right, one of the big things that is interesting about this says the United States Supreme Court recently reviewed the issue of the use of social media by a public figure, and in a unanimous opinion held that a public official's social media activity constitutes state action only if the official possessed speak on the state's behalf and purported to exercise that authority when he spoke on social media. Okay. Break this down. If the official possessed actual authority to speak on the state's behalf, he's the sheriff. He's got no boss. He has the ability to do this at any time. He's got the ability to speak. He doesn't have to ask anybody. That's just it. That's that. Hold on here. I got to get this out of the way. Hold on here. Okay. Damn it. Give me 1 second here. All right, sorry about that. So clearly he has the authority to speak. He has the actual authority. And are you saying Sproles has free will? Yeah, right. The problem here that he's saying is I'm sheriff, and I'm sheriff 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, but only when it's good for me. When it's not good, when I want to be somebody else, or when I want to post something that's controversial or do something that, I don't want it to be related to the state, I can do that. I don't think he can just take that on and off. If he's commenting about his wife or his kids or family, I'm not coming after him about that. But when he's commenting about official action, come on. All right? That's nuts. Bilbrey's claim fails this two-part test because he is unable to prove that Sproles was purporting to exercise his authority to speak on behalf of the Henry County Sheriff's Office in any of the posts made to the Sproles for Sheriff Facebook page at issue in this litigation. Rather, the undisputed facts show that Sproles was acting in his private capacity and exercised his own First Amendment rights when he posted and blocked Bilbrey from Facebook page at issue. I don't even understand how they can begin to claim that. Now, listen to this. They're saying that this is an inadmissible statement. This is an inadmissible statement. Because I am a former law enforcement officer myself, I believe that I have a perspective on issues concerning criminal justice and the professional operation of local law enforcement departments that not every person possesses. I don't even understand that. I'm not a doctor.
You're expressing an opinion too, I believe. You're not stating it as a matter of fact. You are stating it as a matter of opinion.
Well, and in stating this, the attorney, we spoke, the attorney wrote this, and I signed off on it. I wouldn't have said, I believe. I personally would have said, I have a perspective on issues concerning criminal justice system that someone that has not been does not have. I have not been a doctor. I can give my opinion on what being a doctor would be like. I have not been in the military. I can give my opinion and it could be pretty accurate, but I've never done those things. Sproles cannot talk about what it's like to be a content producer. He's not done that. He can talk about it, but he can't give information that any other person could give. He's just out there until you do it. I have actually walked in that life. I have done that. I have a long time in law enforcement across several different areas in law enforcement. And I fully believe that I have a perspective on that anybody else that's been in law enforcement would have. Let me put it to you this way. I believe I have more of a perspective in law enforcement than Sproles has. I'll put my time up against his. All right? Period. So I don't know how this can not be an admissible statement. I think it is admissible. I think that is insane that they would say that. That's legitimately nuts. Next up, like many persons, I rely on Facebook for a significant source of news. Okay? Well, what's wrong with that? Social media, Facebook being one of them, Facebook, Twitter, is a way that many people now get access to news. Maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong, but it is a method. That's legitimately. But that I see this up here. Bilbrey's belief that he has a unique perspective on criminal justice and law enforcement issues, that it's different than others, is merely inadmissible speculation and unsupported bravado. What? I don't understand. Furthermore, this sentence does not say specifically a unique perspective. I don't know that my perspective is unique. It is just a perspective that I have that Kate does not have. My perspective on this is different than Tweety Bird's. My perspective on law enforcement is different than my grandmother's, because I have put a badge on my chest. I've sat in a car gripping a steering wheel going 110 miles an hour. I've walked through a house with a gun out at night. I've pointed a gun at people and been squeezing the trigger thinking, oh my God, I'm getting ready to shoot this guy, or oh my God, I think this guy's getting ready to shoot me. I've been getting my head kicked in a fight and been on the ground hoping that backup comes pretty quickly. Those are perspectives that just other people do not have. It's not a unique perspective. I think my perspective is pretty close to what a lot of other people who have had jobs in law enforcement have. So I take issue with their wording of unique. But then this line down here, it just is insane. These people are nuts. All right. Bilbrey's statement about other people's news habits is inadmissible as it's outside of his personal knowledge and lacks foundation. No, I have personal knowledge that a lot of people rely on Facebook as a significant source of news. These people are insane. I feel like they're fighting the wrong thing. All right. Bilbrey's statement about how Facebook's news feed operates is admittedly outside of his personal knowledge. Bilbrey has not been designated nor qualified as an expert on the use and operation of Facebook. Given his admission under oath that he does not know how Facebook algorithm works, his opinion regarding how or why posts appear or don't appear in his or any other user's Facebook feed, or the technical consequences of being blocked from a particular Facebook page are inadmissible. Again, this is a dog shit argument. Let me explain. Let me explain. Being blocked from an elected official stops you from being able to engage with that elected official. Period. I don't need to know how the algorithms work. I don't need to know how they put the feeds in your line or other people's lines. I just know what happens when I am blocked. I'm coming. I came back on here. Don't let that be your only source. No, Tweety Bird. I I take in various different feeds. I take in too much news how it is. I probably should cut back. But to say that Facebook is not a source of news, because keep in mind, I mean, you on Facebook, every significant journalist, every significant news organization has a Facebook page, has a Twitter account. And to me, in my opinion, Facebook is a catch-all phrase. I really wish my attorney would have used social media, because in my opinion, this is X. This is any form of that. I follow pretty much every walking journalist on X, on Twitter, that there is. And anytime that there's a journalist that whether they have a left-leaning slant or a right-leaning slant, or whatever the deal is, I follow, I read, I check, and I run that across, and I pick and I choose and I check and verify. I don't know that there is a journalist or a commentator or a media organization that does not have some form of social media page. So every source of news that you specifically, let's just use Tweety Bird for the sake of argument. Every source of news that you deem valuable and good, they're all on social media. I guarantee it. Guarantee that's the case. And every one that you think is not valuable, they're also on social media. Same can be said for GW. Every source of news and journalism that GW thinks is valuable, they're all there on social media. So in a world where a lot of people, like Cindy said, I don't have TV, so there's lots of different ways. In my opinion, Facebook is just kind of a catch-all for social media. But, in this, it's just the saying Facebook. I get what it is, but that's very important. I use Facebook only for community events. See, that's what's funny to me. I don't use Facebook I don't use social media for anything other than what I do. Other than politics, I don't share very, very infrequent. And the only time I share personal bits on social media is to share it with my followers, share it with you people, to give you guys an insight to what goes on, because people like that, I guess. So that's that. Okay. Bilbrey's statement of belief about the pressure felt by public officials to respond to different types of communication is outside his personal knowledge and lacks foundation. I guess to this guy, I'm a complete idiot. I have no ability to be able to make legitimate and educated, intelligent thought processes based off of other actions and things that I see and what people go through. And I don't talk to these political folks. Keep in mind, a lot of what we're talking about is local people. I talk to these people. I know how it interacts with them. I know how they interact with it. I know, it's nuts. At some point after I was blocked from Facebook page at issue in this litigation, it is my understanding that Facebook itself deleted this post from Facebook page as a result of these complaints. Bilbrey's statement of belief about what Facebook did to a particular post on Sheriff Sproles' page is outside of his personal knowledge and lacks foundation. That is not true. Facebook sent us, meaning our team, the Political Spotlight team, they sent us correspondence telling us that they deleted the post that we had complained about on the sheriff's page. It is not outside of my personal knowledge. I specifically have firsthand knowledge because I got correspondence from Facebook. All right. This is nuts. Bilbrey's statement of belief about Sproles' motivation in making particular post is admittedly outside his personal knowledge and nothing more than rank speculation and thus inadmissible. Okay, and here we're talking about when Sheriff Sproles wanted to reference me as a close friend of Mr. Kimbrell, and that the sheriff and his sister continuously said that birds of a feather flock together. I have heard the sheriff specifically mention people, and I've heard people say, oh yeah, the sheriff says that you're more than likely a child molester because Sproles was. Those are statements that the sheriff is outwardly, or at least was at some point, outwardly making to folks just in the community.
Well, remember, he likes to think that association implies lots of things.
Yeah.
So you had an association with a dirtbag.
Yep.
So you're a dirtbag. His wife has associations with black people, so he's not a racist.
Right. That's very true.
I mean, this is normal logic for Sproles.
It's just normal logic. That's good, Kate. I didn't think about that. That's good. Okay. Bilbrey's statement of belief about the commonality of separate Facebook pages operated by public officials is outside his personal knowledge and lacks foundation. Okay. Again, I'm thus aware it is uncommon for an elected official and the institution that he or she represents to operate separate governmental Facebook pages. By way of example, okay, and again, we gave examples of this. We gave examples of this happening, and they want to say we have no basis for this. The examples he cites of mayors of two of America's largest cities and the current president of the United States, whose public relations office are massive in scale, are certainly not analogous to the local sheriff of Henry County, Indiana. At issue in this case, irrelevant evidence is not admissible. Okay, I would agree. If I was my attorney, I might have found a local town. I often, in my examples, find examples that meet local, state, and federal. So I can go back and do that. We can prove what we are stating here. Again, I don't think that this is crazy. This, to me, it seems as if this is like the kid in school that's doing the book report that didn't read the book, and he's got like a 10-page book report to do, and he spends the first 8 pages describing the cover of the book. I feel like they are fighting, and they are raising issue with very non-important issues in our argument. They're not specifically speaking to the issue at hand. And again, I will never know this, but is this because they no longer technically represent Henry County and they're just tired of this? Is it because they don't like their client? I mean, that's a very good possibility. You know, he's a very unlikable person. Bilbrey only cites one instance of a post from the Facebook page at issue in this litigation being shared on the Henry County Sheriff's Office page from January 1st, 2023. Bilbrey's statement regarding the alleged prior existence and assumed deletion of other such posts on the Henry County Sheriff's Facebook page are unsupported by admissible evidence and outside his personal knowledge. Therefore, these statements are inadmissible speculation. Let me make sure that they're aware. This only needs to happen one time. It doesn't need to happen 5 times a day. It doesn't need to happen once a week. It doesn't need to happen once a year. It needs to happen one time. So we put one time in the document. Okay. When we go to court, who knows what will happen if we go to court at that point. You don't put all of your eggs in one basket. You don't put everything out there. You know what I mean? Like there's other situations that, you know, might be relevant at some other date. The thing is, to my knowledge, and I will verify what the deal is here. If this was something where we only put one or what the deal is, but I will get to the bottom of that. I want to make sure. I'm not 1,000% sure on that situation. But again, the bottom line, it only needs to happen one time. So the fact that we put an instance where it happened one time, that's it. Boom, bang, pow. It's happened. Okay. The plaintiff incorrectly describes sheriff's official powers and duties as sheriff. And I know exactly what they're talking about here. Okay. In here, it lists the sheriff's law enforcement duties, obviously, as the power to arrest, suppress breaches of the peace, pursue jail of felons, execute and serve process, and take care of the county jail and prisoners therein. Yeah, I'm fully aware of that. When they're saying that we incorrectly described Sheriff Sproles' powers and duties, it's because in here we listed that part of his role as sheriff is to reach out and communicate, fostering and community engagement and trust with the community, and to speak to constituents and community organizations. Okay.
We'll see, but then he goes on. Read the next bit.
None of those activities are exclusive powers or duties of the office of county sheriff. Here's what's important, though. Sheriff Sproles named those in his deposition. So when we documented this, yeah, I'm aware that there is nothing in the United States or the state of Indiana Constitution that says a sheriff's duties are to foster community engagement. I'm aware of what the Constitution says the sheriff's duties are. We're just simply putting in the document what the sheriff said his role and responsibility as sheriff of Henry County was.
Oh, and they reiterate it.
What?
And they reiterate that in this document.
Yeah, right.
You didn't name out his specific ones. You repeated what he said in a deposition. So you're wrong, but it is an implied power.
Right. Yeah. Right. Absolutely. And it's like, dude, you speak to your client then. It's absolutely crazy. That's nuts. Okay. The page was created by Christina Clemens during Sproles' campaign and was operated by her, John Sproles, and his brother Thomas Sproles. I think all of that's interesting. I think because this has been asked before, and the sheriff was always very cagey on who exactly ran what and whatever. And again, when it was the Sproles for Sheriff page, when he was a candidate, I didn't give a flip what he did with it. I did not care what he did with that page. That is not in question. What he did prior to winning, prior to taking office, prior to January 1st, 2023, I simply do not care what the man did with the page. I don't care. This, again, I'm glad they put this in there. This is all documentation of what was going on at the time, yada, yada, yada. On July 12, 2023 at 8:33 p.m., Sproles changed the bio to "This is not an official government page. Visit Henry County Sheriff's official page." Later that night at 10:49, he changed it to "This is not a official governmental page. I'm speaking as a private citizen." Keep in mind, okay, he did all of this because earlier in the day, he had blocked me from the page, and he had been blocking other people before and after this. But he knew when he blocked me that he had created a problem, and I let them all know, you just effed up. So then he tries to quickly cover his ass. If all of this would have been in place prior to him blocking me, whatever. That being said, once he is an elected official, what I feel like they are failing to understand is if he was even on his private page, just the John Sproles page, if he posted one post pertaining to county government, and I'll be honest, I haven't been on there. He's got me blocked from that, but other people have let me see the page. I'm sure I could thumb through there and find where he's posted some kind of governmental public business post. And I truly could push and fight for that one as well. I don't care. I don't care about his private page. I know that's not what he uses to post most of the information. This is the page that he posts most of the information from, the one that I'm fighting for. So these people are missing the entire point. Okay. Yeah, they're mad that we left out a personal post. You know why? You know why we left out this personal post? Because it had a picture of his daughter in it. I don't blame the daughter. I'm not out here trying to embarrass the daughter. I'm not out here trying to post pictures of his wife and kids, either be juvenile kids or adult kids. That's not what this is about to me. We didn't post this in here because it didn't have, we weren't hiding anything. We were being respectful to a jackass. Contrary to Bilbrey's mischaracterization, Sproles repeatedly used the Sproles for Sheriff page to post messages regarding his family and friends, religion, personal activities. It's not a mischaracterization. It's he can post all of that crap that he wants. If he posts one post about his government or public job, one post, that's one post too many. Okay? Sproles did sometimes use his Sproles for Sheriff page to share press releases and other posts from the Henry County Sheriff's Office Facebook page, but not every post from the Henry County Sheriff's Office page was shared to the Sproles for Sheriff page, or vice versa, okay? They do both of those. They flip back and forth. It's hard keeping 2 pages. It's kind of ignorant that he has 2 pages. I didn't understand that to begin with, but it is what it is. The last category of posts to the Sproles for Sheriff page that Bilbrey more or less ignores are when Sproles uses the Sproles for Sheriff page to endorse or criticize politicians and candidates for political office. You know, and it's really crazy. Because as Kate wrote here, his endorsement of another candidate means nothing without his authority as an elected sheriff. The endorsement of a private citizen holds no weight to sway voters. Hi, I'm Sheriff. I'm private citizen John Dingleberry, and I want you to support Eric Doden. No.
Well, look, we see it here.
You
have come on and said, hey, listen, I support Ryan Webb.
Yeah.
For city council in Muncie. The weight of that endorsement is not enough to get Ryan elected. You are a private citizen.
Yeah.
Now, if you were the grand poobah of Republicans and came out
which
and
I
said,
am.
Well, yes, no, of libertarians. Right, libertarians, the grand poobah.
Of all political people, but go ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
That would have more weight. If you had held some kind of title, without that, it's just me saying, I like this guy and you should vote for him, which means poop. Means nothing.
Keep in mind that every one of his pages that he's done this on, that he shared this, and he's criticized or he's spoken in favor, what's he done? He's had his uniform on, had his campaign hat on, had a big flag waving behind him, had missiles going off. He has did that having the weight of his office right out there in front of the page. I can't think of a bigger way of saying, hello, look, this is the official page. This is me. That's what they want for the endorsement for.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, and any press release he does, that is official business, whether he's just sharing it from
that's
page, it's
so
still
weird.
Official business.
Yeah.
We're hiring.
We
did this great thing. Yeah. Sometimes it's we did this great thing, and sometimes it's we're hiring.
Yeah. That is so
again,
strange.
his office lends weight to the posts. Without the weight of his office, the posts are meaningless.
Yeah. That is very true. So okay, onward we go. Oh God, I can't even. Oh God. Whoa. They've got like a hard on for this. Bilbrey claims that from time to time, Sproles shares posts from Sproles for Sheriff page to the Sheriff's Office page, but only cites one example. Because that's all it takes. Okay. I want to talk about this for a second, too. Kristopher Bilbrey is not a resident of Henry County, Indiana, and thus not an actual constituent of Henry County Sheriff. Okay. Bilbrey is currently the host of a video podcast entitled The Political Spotlight and Bilbrey Live. There is no such thing as Bilbrey Live anymore. That is not a thing. I don't know why they keep saying that. That air live on YouTube and are available to view afterwards on the same YouTube channel. Bilbrey previously hosted a video podcast entitled The Bastards of Politics with Joshua Kimbrell from November 1st, 2022 through August 9th, 2023. Bilbrey states under oath that he and Kimbrell stopped working together in around July of 2023 and have had no interactions with Kimbrell since we stopped working. Okay, and stopped working together. That is true. I didn't go out going places with him. We didn't go that was one of the big things that made Josh mad at me, because I didn't want to go down and poke the bear in Henry County for something stupid. And I felt that what Josh was doing was Josh was after views and clicks. Let's leave the crime that he committed out of it. We know what he did. At the time, I didn't know anything about that. So we're just talking about fighting a fight for right or fighting for clicks and views. And this, to me, is not about clicks and views. All right. However, on October 29th, 2023, less than 2 months before Kimbrell's arrest, Bilbrey spent more than 2 hours cordially interviewing and joking with Kimbrell, then a candidate. Listen to what he's saying. Then a candidate for Winchester City Council on an episode of Bilbrey's The Political Spotlight podcast, episode 66, A Side of Bastards. Okay? Yeah, I did that because I interviewed every other candidate in Winchester that wanted to sit down with an interview, because I have the ability to be polite to someone who I don't necessarily work with or work around. I can be polite to someone. I could be polite to John Sproles. I could interview John Sproles tonight, right now. No issue. Okay. So, man, look at this footnote number 6. Bilbrey discusses the first and last episode of the Bastards of Politics on his divorce from Josh Kimbrell during his first, and his divorce from Josh Kimbrell during his first episode of the Political Spotlight, posted on August 12th, 2023. At 9:52 to 10:35, 14:58 to 15:20, 35:29 to 36:25, 55:32 to 56:55, and thereafter. Man, you think we could hire Sproles' attorney to do timestamps for us in the future? That's
I'm
amazing.
just thinking about all the views we got off of them because of this.
I know. Listen to this. Bilbrey also discussed his friendship with Joshua Kimbrell during the November 23rd, 2022 episode of Bilbrey's Perception is Reality podcast. 3:57 to 4:08 and 12:56 to 13:07. That's wild. I'm going to have to go back and listen to those. I don't even know what I said about the asshole. Good Lord. Okay. Moving on. This whole section is hilarious. All of this is now part of the official record in a federal court case and is completely moot. The sheriff is an elected official and as such is open to criticism and even satire. Saying that he is mean is a bullshit argument. I mean, yeah, Bilbrey, for example, on September 16th, 2023, Bilbrey refers to Sproles as the fucking new guy, which he often abbreviates as FNG. On September 26th, Bilbrey posted, "Look at Sheriff Sproles. Wow, isn't he a cockwomble?" Literally. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I can't even comprehend that is actually something that they would post in an actual legal filing in court. Hold on. We got to look at it now. We're almost here. Oh, yep. Right here. I found it. Here we go.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Political Spotlight's Word of the Day. Today's word comes from the Scottish heritage. The word is cockwomble. Cockwomble, a noun. A person, usually male, prone to making outrageously stupid statements and or inappropriate behavior whilst generally having a high opinion of their own wisdom and importance. Used in a sentence, one might say, "Look at Sheriff John Sproles. Wow, isn't he a cockwomble?" This has been Political Spotlight's Word of the Day. Hope to see you again next time.
Oh, God. I hope we get to play that in court. I think that we're trying to, yeah, I think that the optometrist has it. None of this has to do with the fact that Sproles blocked people and deleted evidence after the fact. Yeah.
This is my favorite part of the whole thing. All of this is now part of the federal record.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
a lawsuit. This is now public record in a federal case. And regardless of who wins, it will become a precedent.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, I'm going to tell you, the ACLU
it just gets better. The cockwomble's just the beginning.
Oh yeah. That's just the beginning.
This is amazing.
Yeah. It gets much worse for them. No, yeah, you're good. The ACLU has already said that if the heavens and the earth flip sideways, heaven and earth flips, and for some unknown reason we would happen to lose this, they are prepared to take it further and to appeal it because they believe that strongly in this case. Okay. You know, Sproles' attorney was cracking up inside watching that. They're probably calling him that. They're probably calling him the cockwomble. You know, I'm sure they're like, yep, that's Sproles. You know, they're like, man, this guy he's not even a constituent of Sproles, but how does he know him so well? I'm like, well, you know, haven't you guys met him? All right, forward. Oh. Videos previously posted to Bilbrey's The Bastards of Politics podcast are no longer publicly available on YouTube, so it's uncertain how often Bilbrey similarly criticized and insulted Sproles prior to filing this lawsuit. Bilbrey refused to produce copies of such videos in response to defendant's discovery request.
Chris,
What is this?
Oh, did you freeze? Okay.
No.
Like you were frozen.
Wait a minute. Jamie didn't rape her, did he?
In the show, he did.
Did he?
Next to Joffrey's corpse.
Oh God, I hated Joffrey. Okay.
Oh no, you gotta go back up because you didn't read all of that, man.
Where was it? Oh, I thought I did.
After Cockwomble.
Oh, yes. On January 16th, Bilbrey states that Sproles is sitting around. On January 16th, 2024, Bilbrey states that Sproles is sitting around probably rubbing his nipples in his very small uniform, and Bilbrey implies that Sproles is having sexual relations with his sister, like Jaime Lannister on the HBO series Game of Thrones. I said no such thing. I just said I had heard people say. I didn't know. I had heard people say that Sproles and his sister could very easily go around on like Halloween as Jaime and Cersei Lannister. Listen, I watch documentaries in politics. I don't even know what that means. I'm not a nerd. You've heard how many, that's my defense. How many times have you heard Kate and Brandon be like, Bilbrey's no nerd. He's a horrible nerd. I've said they've had an odd relationship. You know what I mean? I've always heard that Jaime and Cersei had an odd relationship. I'm not worried about that. Listen, because let me explain to you something. It might not be nice and it might be bad, but the same apparent First Amendment right that Sproles has to compare me to a child molester is the same First Amendment right that I have to say, I don't know what's going on over there. I think their relationship is weird. Isn't that a word that we're all using these days? Weird. Can we start saying that? I think, hey, let me tell you who's weird. Weird is the Sproles relationship. And this is all part of permanent record in a federal civil rights lawsuit. Bizarre. Okay. That can only be beat by the fact that we have this. On March 9th, 2024, Bilbrey substituted Sproles for the F word in a modified version of the famous British comedy routine misattributed to Monty Python. Is it misattributed? Is it not Monty Python? Wait a minute.
It's Monty Python-esque. It's not actually them doing it, but it's very Monty Python-esque.
Okay, that really hurts me. That really bothers me. I like that they had to they literally had to put that in there. They're like the attorney is a big Python fan, so he's like, wait a minute, that's not Monty Python. He misattributed that. Oh God. Moving on. Henry County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff's Creed is in there. They've done that. Of course, you can go back and watch all of that. This is literally public record in this lawsuit. This is insane. Being blocked from following the Sproles for Sheriff page has certainly not adversely impacted Bilbrey's vocal and oftentimes vulgar public criticism of Sproles. You can tell how much these guys hate, and I mean hate, the First Amendment. I think that's gross. Okay? I think that's gross. I really dislike these people because of this. Okay, so we see a post of mine where I tell him he's disgusting and he needs to resign. I call him a joke. One way or the other, your reign of terror in the sheriff's office won't last too much longer, as the feds will take you out of there, or 40,000 Henry County citizens that didn't vote for you last time will make sure they don't allow you to have another 4 years. You know, and listen, that's just all that's my hope. That's my belief. I hope that happens. I hope that one of those things happen. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see here. I engaged with arguments with Sproles' sister, or did she engage with me? Did she say things like the sheriff was going to bury me under the jail, gave out my address, did things like that? I don't even remember what all. I don't remember anymore what was her and what was the kid. But it's all the same, and I really don't care. They're both weirdos. Hey, listen, the fact that I have to believe that their attorneys have put a muzzle on her, and maybe really have put a muzzle on him too, because they've really been quiet, which, you know, is a good thing. That's a good thing. You know, we're getting somewhere. Okay. Okay. He uses this page to promote his personal opinions. That's great. Fantastic. Still doesn't speak for the fact that as the elected sheriff, let me try to tell you what they're trying to do. They're trying to look at the sheriff as a deputy. Say, for the sake of argument, that Sheriff Sproles hired me as a deputy tomorrow, and that then the next day he said, Deputy Bilbrey, I'm going to give you the authority periodically to post content on this page. That would mean that in my official duty, all right, as a county employee, I'm not an elected official, but I am a public servant, a county employee. In my official capacity, periodically, I would have the right and the ability to post on the page. Now, I wouldn't always have that right and the ability. There could be a time, per se, that I would post on there where I would not have been given the express permission to do so. And I could post something crazy that could get me and the county in trouble. The sheriff wouldn't necessarily, he would get in trouble for it, but it would be bad for me because I hadn't been given that ability. The sheriff, however, doesn't have a boss other than the people. He can't get authority from anyone to post on that page other than himself. They're looking at him like he is a deputy, just posting on here periodically, and sometimes he's official and sometimes he's not. That is not how it works. He's the head of the department. Okay? So if he posts on there one time in his official capacity and then blocks me and or anyone else, he is out of luck. Okay? And that's what he's done. All right, argument. The operation of the Sproles for Sheriff Facebook page and blocking of the plaintiff are not state action. I don't see it. I don't know how they can argue this any other way. Whether particular social media activities of a public official constitute state action is governed by the test recently articulated by the United States Supreme Court in Linke versus Freed. We went through this. We spelled it out. My attorney spelled it out beautifully. If you want to hear how it's spelled out, go back and watch the first 20 minutes of episode 237. Okay? It's clear as a day. It's clear as the day is a day is long. there is a two-part test to analyze whether a public official has violated someone's First Amendment rights when preventing them from commenting on the official social media page. Like Linke, Kristopher claims that he has the right to comment on Sheriff Sproles' Facebook page, which he has characterized as a public forum, and that Sproles, like Freed, had engaged in impermissible viewpoint discrimination by deleting unfavorable comments and blocking Bilbrey from the page. Yes, that has happened. All right. 42 USC 1983 provides a cause of action against every person who, under the color of any statute, ordinance, regulation, custom, or usage of any state, deprive someone of a federal constitutional statutory right. This provision only protects against acts attributable to a state, not those as a private person. John Sproles, for the next 3 years, is not a private person. He has private time, but when he is engaging on that platform, he is the sheriff of Henry County. Specifically, when he's writing about his guys and gals no longer answering emergency calls in the small towns throughout Henry County. If that isn't state action, if that's not the definition of state action, I don't know what is. Okay, that's ridiculous. Bilbrey has failed to prove that Sproles has actual authority rooted in written law or long-standing custom to speak on behalf of the Henry County Sheriff's Office through Facebook. I failed to prove that. The first prong of this test is grounded in the requirement that the conduct allegedly causing the deprivation of federal rights be fairly attributable to the state. The Supreme Court makes clear that a particular act is not attributable to the state unless it's traceable to the state's power of authority. Private action, no matter how official it looks, lacks the necessary lineage. Okay? Supreme Court stated the traditional definition of state action requires that the defendant have exercised power possessed by virtue of state law and made possible only because the wrongdoer is clothed with the authority of the state law. However, when the conduct at issue entails functions and obligations in no way dependent on state authority, state action does not exist. For state action to exist, the state must be responsible for the specific conduct which the plaintiff complains. Okay, listen to what I'm telling you. When the sheriff is the elected sheriff, when he is the boss, and when he has authority over the men and women that work for him, and he can tell them specific actions that they must do or not do, and he's telling the public, citizens, be sure to contact your local town marshals, get their numbers, put them in your phones, lock up your doors, hide your kids, hide your wives, because we are no longer answering emergency calls in your towns. Men and women in brown on the sheriff's deputies, on the sheriff's department, we are no longer answering calls for service in these small towns. If that is not an official direct order, ladies and gentlemen, there is not something that is a direct order. There is not something that would be state official action. When we're saying state, you understand it's like state-ran media. State meaning the office. All right? Okay. Let me get down here. All right. Sproles has authority to speak on behalf of the sheriff's office through the sheriff's office Facebook. That is not at issue. Well, of course he does. Directly contradicts B. All right. He either has authority or he doesn't have authority. And if he has the authority to communicate as a person in one page, then he has the authority to communicate under the other page.
The
keep
first
in
one
mind,
says you didn't prove that he has the authority, and then they come back and says he has the authority.
right? And keep in mind, these pages were named nearly the same damn thing. Sheriff Sproles only changed the name after the lawsuit was filed, and he didn't change it after the lawsuit was filed. The lawsuit was filed in August, the end of July or August. He changed the name in October. So it was like several months later. So the names of the pages were almost identical at one point. Sproles operates the Sproles for Sheriff Facebook page to exercise his own First Amendment right. Okay, this is cute. All right. The undisputed facts and designated evidence shows that Sproles uses his Sproles for Sheriff page as a form of exercising his own First Amendment right by expressing his views on various matters of personal and public concern, including some matters involving the Henry County Sheriff's Office, but also matters involving his family, faith, and community. All right, but what about these? What about the matters when it involves the Sheriff's Department? What are they claiming that he does then? Just because he also posts family stuff doesn't mean he hasn't posted official business. I don't understand how hard this is for them to guarantee. I think they're only half-assed defending him. I almost feel sorry for him here. Sproles has not violated the Hatch Act, all right? I think that my attorney laid out beautifully how he's done one of two things. He has either violated my First Amendment rights, or if he has not violated my First Amendment rights, then he has violated the Hatch Act. He that's fine. They're saying he hasn't. Okay, then he's violated my rights, period. If they want to say he's not violated my rights, then he has violated the Hatch Act. If you want to hear the explanation of that in perfect detail, go back and listen to episode 237. We lay it out in perfect detail there, okay? Such an innocuous post made more than 3 years before the next election is hardly a repeated violation of the Hatch Act, okay? And the thing that they're trying to say here is, well, he's not running for sheriff, and it's 3 years before the election page. That's exactly what my attorney laid out, was that he's not running this election page because it was not an election page. Listen, the difference between the two Sheriff's Department pages is one is the Henry County Sheriff's Office page. They use that to post about the jail. They use it to post about various aspects of bailiffs and all people somehow connected to the sheriff's office. The other page was Henry County Sheriff John M. Sproles. That's what the page was titled. Then after the lawsuit and after he started talking to legal eagles, he then went in there and changed it back to the campaign page. Thank God for screenshots. Thank God that Facebook keeps track of all of that. And it clearly details when and how he made the changes, and it looks bad. It makes it look like he's covering up the issue after the crime. Additionally, Bilbrey has no standing to assert a claim of violation for the Hatch Act as part of his lawsuit against Sproles. All right. I'm just saying, he's either done one or the other. Sproles for Sheriff page has always been designated as a campaign page and not a governmental page. Well, number one, calling it a campaign page does not make you exempt from the First Amendment. But number two, I don't think that this is true. I don't think that's true. I think it's always been that a campaign page after he changed it back. But there was a period where it was specifically just Henry County Sheriff John M. Sproles.
He's
period.
Since posted stuff since he changed it that was official shit.
Yeah, right.
So it's not that he, oh crap, changed it and turned it into a strictly campaign page. He still uses it for official crap.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Sproles was not on duty when posting to the Sproles for Sheriff Facebook page. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't even understand how they're going to argue this. It, however, makes little sense in relation to salaried county sheriff who is always on duty and often posts to the sheriff's office page during lunch and evening hours and accesses both pages from the same personal cell phone. Wait a minute. So he is always on duty? So if they're saying he's always on duty here, then he's always the sheriff?
And then he's always violating the Hatch Act.
Right.
So I said it's obfuscating.
Yeah.
On duty means when he's on the clock.
Right.
And they're being deliberately obtuse. Because if we take that literally, then they're basically saying he's always violating the Hatch Act because he's never not on duty.
Yeah. Okay. Neither does answering a private message from a constituent on Facebook page, which Sproles did on a few occasions, isolated occasions, none of which involved Bilbrey or were known to him prior to this litigation. Okay, whatever. I mean, you know, listen to this. Listen to this argument. Bilbrey's argument that a personal action taken within minutes of an official act transforms the personal into the official is not sound. Well, it's not as crazy as what they're making this seem like it's a sitcom, and it's not. For example, if a sitting judge is visited at his home by a law enforcement official to sign for a search warrant at his front porch, it is not transformed into a courtroom. And when he goes inside afterwards and requests his 12-year-old daughter to turn off the TV and go to bed, she cannot be held in contempt of court for not listening. Like,
that doesn't make any sense.
How
the judge is signing a warrant, he is acting in his official capacity as a judge. Right. If he then directs that law enforcement officer to leave $50 in his wife's in the judge's wife's car for payment, he is instructing that law enforcement officer to do something that the officer would have to think is coming from under the color of being the judge, and he's now telling him to do something illegal. If the sheriff is making a post on the sheriff's office page and the Henry County Sheriff's page saying we are no longer answering calls for duty in these small towns, post, and then 10 minutes later he posts a picture of him and his family that day, and then 10 minutes after that he posts a new 911 policy. He's not on duty, off duty, on it, you know what I mean? It's they're really making this really nonsensical. The bottom line is we have time frames of when he, like specifically down to the second of when he's posting back and forth. And the point of the matter is, as they've listed up here, he's always on, he's always the sheriff. Okay. Obviously he can have personal time and be in downtime, but when he's sitting there in his underwear and he is talking on Facebook as the sheriff, he's still talking in his official capacity, even though he's sitting in his underwear. And then what they say here about the Kimbrell body footage is just completely ignorant. They're saying that it didn't matter because he took it with his body camera, but he did it with his cell phone. So it's not the same thing. It's not state action. What
my attorney is stating here is, if you or I or anyone else, Channel 13, wanted video from Sproles' body cam, we would have to turn in a record request.
Or from his phone.
Or from his phone. Or from
his phone.
Yep. If he pulls his phone out, because I know that he did that on a couple times and took video of Josh on his phone before they had body camera. If I wanted that, which a lot of First Amendment auditors will do, and it is legitimate, if he started videoing that and we wanted a copy of that, we would have to submit a record request. We'd have to wait through the process. We'd have to go through all of that process. The sheriff did not do that. The sheriff, in his official capacity, interacted with Kimbrell, shot body camera footage, and then downloaded it and uploaded it to this page before he even got back to the office and had time to put it in the doc. He had the ability, as his official action of being sheriff, to do something that no one else had the ability to do. And he only had that ability because he was sheriff. He took the footage while on duty and uploaded it. Had he been a citizen journalist, footage from the police officer would have required APRA. Yeah, no question. He says that I can still criticize him. I can. What I cannot do is I cannot criticize him. I cannot engage with him. I cannot redress my government, the government, on a page in which he routinely engages in official state action. Because these alternatives means of communication remain available to Bilbrey, Sproles' blocking of Bilbrey from posting comments on the Sproles for Sheriff's page is not prior restraint, does not violate the First Amendment. If the content was identical in every way, this argument might work. However, the content is not identical. Not everybody is on everything. Some people are on some pages and not other pages. Some people see something right at one moment, but they don't see it, 2 days later. So are they telling me that because I can go in to the city of Muncie City Hall and I can go into Delaware County and I can go into Winchester, that are they telling me that Sproles would have the right to say, I cannot come into the county building? He wouldn't be able to block me out of coming into the county building simply because I have the right to go into other county buildings. That doesn't make sense. Okay. Then we get, okay, there's the conclusion. So that's that. I know that a lot of people, Alva being one of them, talked about the fact that they said that he had 440 pages. The 440 pages, we just went through, how many pages was that? There's 37 pages in his pleading. The other 400 some pages, realistically, there's another filing that talks about specifically about my summary judgment. There's no point to go through that. Basically, all it says is they want to deny my summary judgment, and they want them to either rule in favor of their summary judgment or they want us to go to court. Whatever. I'm down. I'm down to clown. Okay. I'm good to go to court. Whatever. The rest of the pages are evidence. The rest of the pages are pictures and Facebook posts and pictures of thumbnails from my social media, from the YouTube pages. So that's what the other 400 some pages are. I would hate to be that attorney's like paralegal that had to go through all of that crap. Maybe they're a fan. Maybe they're a subscriber. Hello out there. Insane. Absolutely nuts. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's the filing. In my opinion, that does not come close to Gavin's filing. It's weak. It's very, very weak. I have no clue really how they feel like that fights against the legal points that Gavin made. I think it took a lot of pot shots at like aspects of our filing, but it didn't really fire off at the actual meat and potatoes of the thing. So I feel really good that the judge might make a ruling before going to court, but I'm good either way. Thoughts, everyone? Do you think the sheriff's filing and rebuttal will win the case? Sorry, no. If they were not fans, I'm glad they are fans now. Yeah, right. My opinion is no. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I've been contacted by a lot of people, people that you would be shocked. People that you would be shocked to hear from that have contacted me and been like, I don't know what the sheriff's doing. All the sheriff is doing is kind of delaying the inevitable, prolonging the pain. I don't know what he's doing. I think it's crazy, but I'm along for the ride, and we will ride this thing until the wheels fall off, as far as I'm concerned. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us this evening. That's the show. It is Thursday. I'm letting you know, I think the sheriff's only digging the sheriff. I think the only thing the sheriff is doing is digging a deeper hole. Alva, I think you're exactly right. We are going to be off tomorrow, and we're going to be off Saturday. No Friday show, no Saturday show. I will say this. The only thing... Oh, Catherine, thank you. I appreciate it, but you don't have to do that, woman. I thank you for your gift. And, hey, listen, I got to buy some new cables. And now because of that, I will go buy those new cables. I will buy them tomorrow. So thank you for that. You just bought some new cables. Congratulations. I'll call those the Catherine cables. I'll call those the K cables. Thank you. So it will be interesting to see what Catherine is hinting at. I will. I did not make an appointment today, but I will make an appointment. I will try to get in tomorrow. My grandparents literally beat the hell out of me. Literally beat the hell out of me today doing some work for them. So it's been a long day. If there's breaking news, we will go live. If there's something big that happens, we will go Saturday. I will go Saturday night. So we won't be on tomorrow, but if there's something big, it'll be Saturday. We will be back Sunday. Sunday night's going to be a big night because we have the review Sunday night for the Muncie City Council meeting, for the Madison County meeting. And I do want to say this. We will live stream the Madison County election board meeting. We will live stream that right here. Catherine's going to stream it. I'm going to try to go in person. So what we're going to do is we'll get it set up. Kate, you'll have to help me because I'm going to try to be there in person. So we'll do that. Oh, and I do want to show this. I did not show this last night until the very end. I want to start putting this out there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very important. We are going to do 3 of these in August, September, and October. August, Thursday, the 15th. Thursday, August 15th at 7 p.m. There's going to be a virtual town hall that Brandon, Kate, and I will be producing. This is not going to be specifically a political spotlight thing. This is a Donald Rainwater thing that the political spotlight is producing. It's going to be on our networks. It's going to be on his network. The links are already up. If you, as citizens of Indiana or citizens of anywhere else in the world, if you want to ask questions for questions to be considered,
I have the link.
Yeah.
I put the link in the comments for you to submit questions for Rainwater during the public.
Okay. Well, no. All right. So this is important. If you want to submit questions, we are trying to get so this isn't something that we are like, well, let's just wait, because we've only got an hour. We've got 3 hours broken up over 3 months. We're going to do an hour, an hour. We are going to try to tabulate. We're going to do this live, and so we might be able to take some questions live if something pops up, but we are going to try to take the questions ahead of time. So I am asking people, if you want to ask him a question, get your question in now. You can do questions one of 3 ways. You can go to the link that is already made. It's up on our YouTube. It's the link at the bottom of the page there. The bit.ly Rainwater Town Hall 08/15/24. Okay, that's for August. Then there's 9/12/24. That's for September. And then there's 10/17/24. That's for October. You can put those in there. All right. You can do that. Or, and this is also very, very important. Okay. You can also go. I want to go directly to it here. Give me just 1 second. Okay. You can also go to Donald Rainwater for Indiana on Facebook. All right. This is very important. I'm going to show this to you here. Let me present this to you. Share here. You can go to the Rainwater on Facebook. It says Donald Rainwater will be holding a virtual online town hall for those with questions that can't make it to in-person events. These town halls will be live streamed on YouTube and Rumble and recorded to watch at your leisure. You can submit questions for the first event held for any of the events, okay? But specifically, let's focus on August for right now. Held on April 15th, 2024, not 30/24. I'll have her fix that in the comment section of the YouTube video. So you can click on the YouTube video, or you can go to the website. If you click and go to the website, there is a place on there. There is and that's the thing that Kate's got up there. You can go and you can click and you can put it in there and just put your first name in. You can make up names. If you don't want to put your actual information in there, just, make up a name, do all that stuff. Subject. I would like to submit a question for the virtual town hall. In the subject, write town hall and then write August 15th, town hall, September 12th, or October 17th, whatever you want to write in there, and then write the question in there, do that, and send it on. They want those questions a day or two before the event. So she said she's going to try to compile everything by the 13th. Now, that does not mean that you can't ask a question the night of. We will still try to pop some of those in. But we want to have this to where, because the thing is, Rainwater is someone that can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. I am someone that can talk and talk and talk and talk.
No.
So what we're both going to do is we're both beholden to his campaign team. We've said that we'll be good, and I'm going to be really good, and I'm going to be the heavy for him. If he starts dragging, I'm going to cut him off and say, hey, we got to go on. We want to get as many questions as possible.
So I'm running a timer.
Yeah, we'll get some kind of timer going and have things going because we want to get through as many questions as possible, and we want this to be fun. It's going to be great.
Rainwater's always so much fun, though. I mean, he's so good. Rainwater is so good. He's always
it's going to be a good time. And
Super
here's the thing.
off the cuff.
It says 7 to 8, but we can go longer if he's willing to go longer. I mean, I'm okay with that, but I just want to let people know they are scheduled for August the 15th. They are scheduled for September 12th, and they are scheduled for October 17th. So please be on the lookout for those. They're going to be fun. It's going to be great. It's going to be a fun time. You can also email him. If you want to email him, you can. She sent me an email. I'll post the email tomorrow. I will get the email posted tomorrow. So there's 3 different ways that you can do that. We can get that going. It'll be fun. It's going to be great. Those are already up. You can ask the questions. Get them in. Let's rock and roll. This is going to be a good time. Also, there was something else I needed to tell you. Oh, the big news. The big news. We had a bunch of people complaining about the fact that the VP debate that they are doing. There's going to be
lieutenant governor.
Yeah, the VP.
Not VP.
Yeah. The lieutenant. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't even know why I said that. Not the VP. I hope we hear from the vice presidents too. I was thinking about Kamala Harris. The lieutenant governor debate that they're going to do. That's going to be Tuesday, August 13th. It is now going to include Tanya Hudson. They had just had it with Micah and Terry. But Tanya is in there. I had sent a letter and was talking to the board of directors, and we had good back and forth. And I know several other people had done the same thing. And then I noticed the next day she was added to it. So that kicks ass. We will live stream that event. We will live stream. We will live stream, obviously, the 3 town halls with Rainwater. We will live stream Monday's Madison County Election Board. We will live stream Monday's City Council meeting. It's going to be a busy next several months, folks. So make sure if you have not, that you have hit the subscription button in here. You definitely want to do that. You want to do all of the things that you need to do. Do the YouTube, hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell, yada, yada, yada. And remember, before we go, this is Thursday, August 1st. It is the 213th day with no communication from Muncie City Council at-large Councilor Dale Basham. He still refused to respond even to this recent email that I've sent. It is what it is. We'll talk to him Monday and find out just what the hell his problem is. I don't like it. It makes me sad. I think it's gross. I think it's disgusting. And we need to stop that. So you guys have a great evening. Take care of yourselves. No show tomorrow. If something big happens tomorrow or Saturday, we'll be on Saturday. But if you don't see a duck by 7 o'clock Saturday, we will see you Sunday night at 9 p.m. You guys take care. God bless. Have a good evening. Goodbye. You know,